Welcome back to the family house, Life and Living with Samson Latunji. How are you doing today? We want to talk about one problem that has been destroying individuals and societies. Before we continue, I want to ask you a series of questions. As I'm asking you, I'm asking myself too. So let's try to be as objective as possible in answering these questions. Let's just put no facade. Now, when you go to a family member, a friend, or an acquaintance, or a neighbor for help, it may be monetary help, it may be help in other areas of life, and they fail or refuse to help, how do you feel? Do you feel yourself with resentment against them? Because you are a graduate or your child is a graduate and the government has failed to provide a job, do you blame the government? And let me ask you, is there any contract between you and the government that the government is going to provide a job for you? Of course, the government is supposed to provide an enabling environment for job creation. If you say that environment is not being provided, of course, which many African governments have failed in doing. However, at the same time, they are still creating jobs. So is it the government you have to blame? When a neighbor passes you by to go and patronize another person in a business in which you are also involved, how do you feel that they have not patronized you but gone to another person? When somebody who is very close to you seems not to have noticed that you are suffering in an area and has not offered any help, are you angry with them? How often do you forget to say thank you very much when somebody does something good for you? And when you even manage to say thank you very much, do you always mean it because you are deeply, sincerely grateful, or you only want to manipulate that person to do more? Your answers to all these questions and many other pertinent ones will show whether you are suffering from entitlement mentality or not. It will show whether you are guilty or not. It means one can be suffering from what one is guilty of. Entitlement mentality is that exploitative tendency that predisposes you to want to reap where you did not sow, to harvest where you did not plant, or to take more than your fair share of the proceeds from a collective effort. So if you do that, it means you are suffering from entitlement mentality, and it means you are guilty. And of course, if I am in that situation also, I'm guilty. And how do people manifest this? They use what psychologists call victim bully strategies. They will present themselves as victims. They will be crying that the world system has not been fair to them, life has not been fair to them, other people have not been fair to them, everybody hates them, nobody's giving them their share, their dues, forgetting that that person you resent because he is rich and you think he's not helping you, life is not fair to him either. So life is not fair to anybody. But when you decide to do for yourself what you need to do, that is when things begin to work better for you. So people with entitlement mentalities are people who are expecting others to do for them what they are supposed to do for themselves. There are people who are expecting others to spoon feed them. So they try to present themselves as victims. And unfortunately, because most people are like them, they join them to bully, to emotionally traumatize other innocent people who have worked very hard to have some things. They even forget that the people they are looking up to also they have their own problems that they are battling with. So, are you suffering from entitlement mentality? And it's quite interesting. People have used certain terms for those who have this mentality. They are called wheelbarrow people. Wheelbarrow is always going around to collect things everywhere, taking as much as possible, even more than it can carry. They are also referred to as mosquito people. A mosquito does not go around to bless anybody, it's going around to suck blood. Are you a blood sucking person trying to suck life out of others because they have taken responsibility and you are not ready to take responsibility? They are also referred to as scaffolding people. They use the scaffolding strategy by just giving you a little thing and now trying to exploit that to extort you. You need to be careful of entitlement people and you need to look at yourself. Are you one of them or are you helping them? Thank you very much.